Look, you're not hearing me. I'm telling you, we're closing at 34 million, or we're just not going to take the deal. But what you're not understanding is my dad went to Harvard and Yale. I'm a second generation. I have to get this. And what you're not understanding is I'm a Bigsby. I don't have to deal with this. You guys are just stupid. I swear most people, I'm not going to cast the dispersion onto everyone, but most people who work out of coffee shops or public spaces, they make sure they're having the most important call possible. Like $35 million is always on the line. And they speak so loud because they want people to be like, oh, I wonder who he is. He must be important because listen, we don't care at all. Shut up. This is a public space. We need you to quiet down, actually. All right, what's going on? Make sure we're Kloth, and I'm back with another video, man. Looking for my stars where I am simply not going nowhere. Look. And this is going to be another segment of Kloth Talk. Now, if you are new here, Kloth Talk is just where I talk about the trending topics and sneakers and fashion. And I bring people on who have those same passions. Before we actually get started, I don't know if this was my most recent video. It may be one video past that, but somebody left a comment saying I should pick up a DJI mic. Now, I've actually had one of these mics for a long time, but whenever I do use this mic and I'm in the editing process, I feel like the camera audio always feels a little bit better, in my opinion, than a DJI. But let me know in the comments. After you watch this video, let me know, do you prefer this audio or do you prefer it without? I'm very curious because some people say the audio is good without. Some people say it's good with the mic. I don't know. That's what we got, y'all. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into that first article. All right, so this article title reads, Shai, we got to be for real here. Shai Alexander spotted an unreleased laced up Converse, the Shai 1. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. These are actually heat. Now, I've been a fan of these since the images started coming out because I know they did a whole little monochrome thing. I think these came out last year in like maybe October, September, something like that, which is very weird because didn't Complex happen during like the end of October, and like those shoes only came out in September or October and they already made the top 10 list? I don't know. But nonetheless, I do love these sneakers though. These sneakers are fire. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck though. The exposed pair, similar to like the Flightposites and the exposed Flightposites, which I do have, the exposed pairs of the Shais, they low-key going crazy. They low-key they've been putting in some extra leg work with the exposed pairs. Again, I just want to remind y'all, I like the zippers. It's always a cool thing and a little different element when it comes to sneakers. That's cool. I do like the originals. That exposed pair, the two exposed pairs that they like leaked with him being in a grocery store, that pair, that's the one. That is the one. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is the one. Like, it got that whole like what the, like if you ever seen the movie Lottery Ticket and he's looking at the Air Forces in the glass case, and like it kind of has elements like that because it has like the leopard and it has like the multicolors. Like, even though it's not the same thing, it does kind of like in my mind like picture that when I look at these. But these these, I get down with these. The exposed pair is low-key going crazy. Like even the pink pair, bro. And y'all know me, if y'all tune into my YouTube channel, if you know some of my sneaker takes, I love a good color pop and I love some multicolor sneakers. That's what these are. That's what these are. And the good thing about these sneakers, I've been seeing a lot of people get these sneakers, whether it be my For You page, a few creators that I follow, they pick these up, and a few reviews that I've seen for these. There's no PR covering for this, except just one thing. The one thing that I have seen about these sneakers that is or can be determined like a negative is how bad these crease. Now, these are technically basketball shoes, but a lot of people that I've been seeing them have just been rocking them as like just fashion shoes. The creases I've been seeing on these things low-key look crazy. It kind of reminds me of like Air Forces and how bad, like once you get like a few creases in Air Forces, how the shoe starts to look a little bit dingy. That's kind of what I'm seeing with these. But other than that, it's like overall great opinions about these online as far as like hooping and as far as like comfortability. Like these tend to be in the positive, except the whole creases thing and how the creases can start at the top of the shoe, but then on the sides, it starts to look like a little bit, you know, disoriented or disfigured or something like that. That's the only thing I've seen about like the negative when it comes to this shoe. But other than that, like this shoe really has been getting positive press. It's been getting a lot of releases, even though most of the releases have been just like colorways, the black, the mauve, the tan, the blue, the white, like those are all cool. I'm for that. Like I get it. You need the simples, you need the basics, but these, that's more my speed. These are more my speed. I want these. I need these. But I feel like as time keeps progressing on, my need list for this year is getting exponentially long. Exponentially. Words are hard. The list is getting long, bro. I ain't got enough money for that. I'll be the first one to admit it. Everybody on Instagram, they got money. They getting every release. Everybody got a great credit score. You know, parents come from a great background. That's cool. Like that ain't my reality, gang. I don't have enough money for this shit. Please, I'm overstimulated. I don't have enough money to buy all the shoes I want. Just relax, please. And don't drop shoes, not on a Friday. Y'all know people get paid on Friday. Y'all are wrong as hell for that, bruh. But yeah, let me know, what do y'all think of the Shai ones? Like, is this a sneaker that you feel like could fit into your closet? Or do you think it's kind of like, it got overhyped and it kind of fell off? I'm really curious on what people think. But I know in my heart, sometime this year, I will be picking up a pair of these sneakers. I have to. This is one of those things I just have to. I have to get my own experience. I have to test it out. I have to figure out what it's all about, because I do like, even in the time of 2026, bro, and how long sneakers have been around, the fact that people can make new sneakers is just mind blowing to me. Like, yes, they do kind of resemble some other sneakers in my opinion. They do kind of have like certain points that do look like other things, but this is its own sneaker. Like the fact that people could keep making new signature sneakers is kind of wild, and like make new sneakers and that also still good. Like I wonder at what point are we gonna have seen everything and then we just are just stuck. Like I wonder when we're gonna hit that point, because at the rate sneakers are coming out, at the rate that new sneakers are coming out, we have to hit a wall at some point. We have to hit a wall at some point. It's just inevitable. But then you have people like Cecilie dropping a sponge where it's like, that's completely new, completely never been done. And you're like, oh, so there is more that can be done. I don't know, just little thoughts. But I do like the Shai ones. I do need to get a pair. If somebody at Converse, y'all know I'm a dry bag on here, so hold on. If somebody at Converse is watching this, please. Bills are stacking. Student loans calling my phone. Rent, groceries, gas, whatever you can think of. Things are getting rough, and I love a pair of these, and it just gets so hard. Do y'all believe me? But with that all being said, let's just go ahead and jump into that next article. All right, so this article reads, Nike is bringing back a legend with the Air Foamposite One, the Tianjin 2.0. Now, this is the shit I live for. This is the news articles I be looking for. Like, I don't care about all the other shit. This is what I be looking for. If you like Foamposites like I do, then you know what I'm talking about, bro. You know how this feels. This is a dub. We are getting the 2.0s, gang. And if you know anything about those 2015 pairs, you know it wasn't easy to cop. It wasn't a thing. If you wanted those and you had those, guess what? You was getting, you were getting socked out, bro. And I think the stock lists are the like how many pairs they dropped for the original pair in 2015. I think it was around like 2,000 to 3,000, gang. If you got those, guess what? Those is basura. They're not real. Promise you that. They're not real. And they were exclusive to China. You didn't get those, gang. And if you did get those, I'm calling food. But this pair. Now, if you already saw my YouTube short or you saw my TikTok on it, which TikTok is popping off right now. I think I like 32K views. There's a bunch of comments, people going back and forth. These trash, the colorway's trash, 2015 is better. Y'all let me know. Do y'all prefer 2015 or do y'all prefer the 2026 pair? We gotta have an honest conversation, bro. Nostalgia be whooping y'all ass. I promise y'all, it be whooping y'all ass sometimes. 2015, don't get me wrong, they are gas, absolutely. It was the first of its kind, definitely in the tops when it comes to Foamposites. I get that, gang. We're not about to sit here and play this game. The 2026 pair is better. It's better. It may be even by a few decimal points. It's better though. Like, I'm not playing that game with y'all, bro. I get it. Nostalgia 2015. That's when y'all was probably just getting into sneakers, probably really liking Foamposites. I get that, bro. I understand that. 2026 is better. So, somebody at Nike, you feel me? I know I didn't already ask for something. I know I'm getting a little greedy, beyond my britches. Cool. Please make this a world drop and not just exclusive. Please. That's all I ask. I'll pay for it. Just give me access to it. I'll pay the amount. Just give me access to it. That's it. But while we're on the topic of Foamposites, because I didn't even know this was going to happen. I was just scrolling one day, saw that. I was like, oh yeah, need those. Made a video about it. Cool, need those. I was actually about to make a top 5 list of Foamposites of all time, and I feel like there's no better place to insert that than right now as I talk about it. So, top 5 list, and this is not debatable. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. Number 1, I think this should go without saying. I think a lot of people are going to predict this. A lot of people are going to know what number 1 is. Number 1, Paranormans. There's nothing that needs to be said. The Paranormans, number 1. I'm not explaining that to y'all. Number 2, which this should go basically uncontested either, even though I know it just had a re-release and people feel kind of, iffy about the re-release. But typically when people are dying about your sneakers, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but when people are dying to get your sneakers, it typically means something. Number 2, Galaxy Foamposites. No question. I don't want to hear it. That's number 2. If you was around when those dropped, that's if you know type thing. Number 3, which this may get the most criticism from my list, which understandable. But this is what it is. Gone Fishing. That's top. There's no question. Gone Fishing. The colorway, overall print on the actual sneaker itself, the back hits, like what will we even be discussing? Number 4, you already know I'm going with the
Tianjin
1.0s. 1.0s. That sounds weird. The originals. I'm going with the originals. 2015 pair. I think if you talk to somebody that really loves Foamposites, that just is what it is. Like, as simple as that. Now, the number 5 slot. I know I'm gonna get some criticisms. It's cool. I understand that. I'm already predicting this. CDG Foamposites. And I'm talking about the white, black spark. What are we even talking about, bro? Like, I get it. I could have threw in, honestly, an honorable mention could be the CDG Foamposites, the Olympic pair, paired with the Beijing, which I think those dropped in like 20, I don't know the date, but the Beijing pair and the CDG pair is neck and neck. I give it to the CDG pair because they completely redid it. They did the spiral, added something different I have never seen on a Foamposite, so that's why I give that the edge. But the Beijing pair, another pair that gets heavily slept on, but it's extremely fire. But yes, Paranormans, Galaxies, Gone Fishing, the
Tianjin
originals, of course, and then 5 CDGs. Like, I don't need to explain that, bro. But yes, this is the news that I love to see. This, like, when I seen it, bro, I instantly made a video. It was like, it just like certain things happen when it comes to sneakers where it's like, it genuinely gets a reaction out of me. And those are going to be mine. I promise you, bro. I promise you. But let me know, which pair do you prefer? 2015 or the 2026s? Like I said, for me, nostalgia be whooping y'all ass, bro. But these, legendary. Like, they go legendary, bro. But let's jump into that next article. All right, so this article title reads, the North Face and Cecilie, I think that's how you pronounce it, Cecilie Bahnsen go boundless with the 3rd capsule collab. Now, even though this is a women's brand, I think this is a brand that a lot of people should be paying attention to. And I feel like most of their clothes, even though it's like geared towards like women's wear, it is pretty androgynous type shit. I know a few words. That may not even be the word, but it's very non-binary with a lot of the clothes that they make, because of whether it be like a jacket or, you know, sweater or like a headpiece, or even some of their sneakers are very like non-binary. And I feel like men and women can both wear those. So I feel like this is a brand that a lot of people should be paying attention to, because they've partnered with like North Face. They've partnered with like, I think DMA as well. They've partnered with Asics. Like those Asics are fire too. Like those Asics are actually pretty good. But like, this is a brand that you should be paying attention to, especially when it comes to this North Face collab, because this is their third capsule, but their first and second capsule was also fire as well. So I haven't looked at everything yet, but let's take a look at this full collection and see, you know, what's going on. If it's still holding up, if this is a partnership that should still go on, because y'all know, in the era of a lot of people partnering with people, a lot of collabs happening, I feel like people are getting some type of fatigue. I won't say people, I'm at least getting fatigued with certain collabs lasting too long. I feel like people should know when to sever the relationship and let the legacy be great, versus like you're 7 or 8 collabs in and you've tarnished the legacy of the collab because y'all only had 3 solid ones, but y'all end up going on to do 9. Like, there is definitely a cutoff point. I feel like a lot of brands should figure out where that is. So let's figure out. All right, so this first image, I'm not gonna vibe. Again, they have their, you know, brand motif on it, which is like that flower on the bag. And of course, the bag is gas. This is the thing that keeps me coming back to want to look at this brand, because their North Face collab, when it comes to the bags and the accessories, it's always top tier. So I don't know if they make shoes. They kind of look like that brand Merrell, like that walking company. Actually, no, North Face actually makes shoes. So I'm sure this is a North Face shoe. I don't know why I was tripping. I thought this was like I'm tripping. But then we have the jacket and then pants, or cargo pants, it looks like. And it has like the flower motifs on it, but it's not. I think they took a better approach, because it kind of looks like a camo. So it's like very subtle. It's not like super out there in your face, versus if they just did like a jacket, pant, and then they had the flowers that were like detachable on it. I feel like that would have took away from the overall, like, you know, simplicity of it. So the fact that it's actually a print on the actual garments itself, I think that really aids to the timeless aspect to it. Because again, when I look at the images, at least, it reads very much like a camo versus, you know, flowers, in my opinion. All right, so this next image, again, we got some socks now here. Not a fan of the socks. Not my, you know, favorite. A little bit better angle of the shoe. I'm sure these are mad comfortable, but again, just not my style. I don't think I would personally rock these. Even though I know I could rock those. Like, if they was like, if I got them, I could rock them, but I don't think I would necessarily go out of my way to purchase these. Even, like, they look cool though. Like, I'm not saying they look bad. Like, they look cool. I'm just not, it's not my personal style. So then we have, you know, shorts, a jacket. I can't tell what this is on her, like on her waist side. I don't know if that's like a bag. It looks like a fishnet material, or even like just like a netting or something like that. I don't know. I can't make out what that is necessarily on the image, but yeah, this is a cool image. I like the aesthetic of it, you know, on a little train going somewhere. It looks like it's snow outside, so it's like fitting that, you know, North Face aesthetic, which is like, you know, going outside, gorecore aesthetic and all that. Next image, which is, I think that's the netting thing. It's like black and it has like I don't know what to call that. It kind of reminds me of like, if you go to sporting events and you see like, it's like a poncho. Like, it kind of looks like a poncho, like a clear poncho that people will wear. Like, they'll have a, you know, a poncho over their clothes so they don't get wet. That's what I assume this is, because I don't see holes through it. So I feel like it's going to protect you from the elements. That's what I assume that is. But this is a cool image as well. Not too bad. Now this image, this is gas, bro. This is the type of thing, when I see certain things, I wish I was a part of the team that put this together. The aesthetic of this, them being in olive, paired with the background covered in snow, so it's not really too distracting what's going on in the background. Them being in olive, bro, like, this is fire, bro. Whoever's on the creative team for this, or like, you know, set this whole thing up, y'all did an excellent job. Like, you see the motifs on the bags. And what's crazy is I think they're all wearing the same thing. but they all look kind of different the way that they styled it. Like, it looks like, you know, the person on the very far left has, you know, maybe like that lighter outerwear piece like around the bag, and then the person next to them looks like they're wearing a full thing, and the person next to them looks like they're wearing something else. Like, they look like they're all wearing the same thing because the shoes are on, the pants, the bag. But like, I don't know, to me, maybe I'm just tripping and it's like I'm going way too deep in it, but I feel like they all look distinctly different in this image. But overall, this image is fire. This is fire. I know this is like, if this was somebody's just Instagram account and they posted this image, guess what? You're on the Explore page, and guess what? You're getting hit up by North Face, and guess what? You got a partnership. Like, this is the type of things that brands will pay attention to. So I like this image. All right, so next, little action shot, seeing the clothes in motion, seeing the way that they fall on the body, you know, gets the job done as far as like how it's gonna move if you potentially bought this, so that's cool. Okay, so this is a better shot of that outerwear piece. But it's still wrapped around the back, so I can't really fully make out what it is. I think it might be like that poncho thing earlier, but it looks different here. It doesn't have like the same structure as the other one. But again, I'm liking like the camo S motif flower thing going on. It looks like the pants actually detach, so they turn to shorts, which I think that was on the last image, so I think they do turn to shorts overall. Next image, yeah, they all look very distinctly different. Like, they all look like, even though I feel like they're all wearing the same piece, the way that it's styled, it looks completely different. So the person on the right looks different from the person in the middle, and the person in the middle looks completely different from the person on the left. So yeah, this is dope. This is a great campaign. I think the way that they displayed this and showcased this was done very tastefully. Man, this bag, bro. I'm gonna keep coming back to the bag, bro. The bag is so fire though. It's just something so simple about it. And like the fact that it's like a duffel, but it could be dubbed as a backpack as well, is really doing it for me. Also, I think the shoe, is it fully wrapped around? This person in the middle looks like the back part of the shoe is not connected. Like that looks like their sock. First, it looks more like a mule than it does a full shoe, which I didn't get that from earlier. I don't know, I can't really make that out. All right, so the next image, you know, you got the backpack, then you have the bag. So it looks like a skirt now. I am confused, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm very confused on what that netting or poncho thing is. I'm very confused here. I can't make it out. But yeah, so next image, we got the backpack, getting more details. Again, that whole thing is fire. Like, they could keep doing that. Obviously, they do that with their Asics. They do that with their, you know, North Face collab. They could keep doing this in a multitude of ways, and I will still find it good. Like, this is, sometimes when it comes to like brand things, it can very much so get to be too much. Like, I love the brand Denim Tears. I have multiple pieces from Denim Tears. I patronize the business, but the reef can become a lot, bro. I don't want to see a reef on everything. But I feel like this flower motif, even though it is a lot on there, it still reads very well, and it doesn't look like it feels more curated than like other brands that I see do this. So I do like this overall. All right, so the next image, again, we have like that poncho thing. Still kind of confused what it is, but hey. Next, we have the white bag, which I'm not a fan of. Keep it real, I'm just not a fan of this white bag in particular. It's not ugly, it's not, you know, it's the same thing, just in like a different color. I just think with that olive, or even with the black, it just hits a little bit more. This one just feels like a little too, maybe the word is just a little too feminine for my taste, but it's cool though, it's not terrible. Next, we have the this jacket. Okay, so I do notice something different here. The little cinch parts, like when you pinch it down and you adjust it, and it kind of like makes it a little bit tighter. I do see that it has a flower motif on it. I also see that the zipper also has that on it. Very unique. And then the person on the right, it has the button that has a flower motif. So overall, I think these are like good, unique details added to a North Face jacket. I think these are very good additions. And I think on her shorts, I think these are detachable pants because it looks like it has like a zipper portion that would connect to the other pieces. So 2-in-1, pants and shorts. Love it. And then I think that's a skirt. It doesn't look like it has like a split. It might be a skirt, but then also it might be shorts. I think those are shorts actually, never mind. Again, same thing, kind of been seeing. You can see that like blouse, little poncho thing is like, you know, see-through. I'm still kind of lost. And then the last thing is a close-up shot of the shoes. And I can see now clearly with this image, it is more like a mule or like a slip-on, because the back of the shoe does have a strap that like keeps your ankle in place. So it's like a Croc being put in sport mode, basically. So overall, this is fire. This is a fire piece. I do like it. I mean, a fire collection overall. Obviously, the thing that keeps me coming back to this brand are their bags. Their bags are extremely done well. Like they're fire, bro. But I do know that this is an old article, so I am going to click on the article itself just to see like what some of these prices are hitting for. And I know this is a collab, bro. This is North Face. I'm predicting like the bag itself is probably like $600-700. So let's see. Let's figure out. Clicking on the website. Let's click here. Cecilie Bahnsen. All right, so the clutch, that white bag, $275. Understandable. The pullover jacket with like the cinchable sides, that's $590. So that's gonna run you about $600. And then, oh, the actual duffel itself is like $390, so like $400. That's actually lower than what I thought it was going to be. It being a collab and it being North Face, they could have easily did this for like $500 to $600. $400 isn't bad. The shoes are $290. That's cool. That's a very entry level price point for a piece of footwear, and it being a collab, so I understand that's not too bad. Convertible jacket, $750. Now we get into like the real big items. The long wind jacket, $590, and then the convertible pants, so they do convert into a pair of shorts. Those are going for, where's the price at? Oh, $600. Yeah, nah. I love these things, bro. Some of these prices beating me over the head, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't got it. I don't have it, bro. Like, the most affordable thing being footwear is crazy to me, because I feel like footwear will last the longest versus like some of the other pieces, given how like, based on the images, it looks like they're very light. So like you get snagged on something, you're ripping through that jacket, versus a pair of shoes I feel like will last you a little bit longer. That's just my opinion. So I am curious on what you guys think of this brand, and also this, you know, this being their third capsule with North Face. I feel like they're doing very well, and I feel like, as quiet as kept, this brand is producing some of like the best collabs in the space, because I feel like their collabs at least feel cohesive. I feel like most of the time in this like collaborator, you know, collabing space, partnering space that like, you know, in the past 3 years we've been dealing with, a lot of brands will partner with another brand that has a stronger brand identity, and like that stronger brand identity will engulf them, whereas some collabs don't even feel like it's a collab. And y'all know I like to beat up Jown because I feel like they just put their name on it, and I don't necessarily do anything different or like a whoa or wow factor about it, except just like maybe a color change. And like a color change in my opinion does not justify a 30% increase in price. It just doesn't do that. I don't feel that way. But I feel like this brand, the Cecilie Bahnsen, their brand identity and like that motif is so specific to them that like when you see it, you know that's a collab. Like nobody's looking at a North Face bag and then they see that bag and be like, oh, those are two North Face bags. Like, oh, that one's kind of different though. Like, what's that one? Like, who are they collabing with? Like, this is the type of thing that I like when it comes to collabs. When both brands feel like they are standing out equally, versus one brand having a stronger brand identity and then it goes to other and just feel like, why am I paying a premium price on something when there's nothing even going on here? So that's just my opinion. I'm just one person. I'm just one guy, you know, Kloth Talk, that's me. Hey, how you doing? Type shit. But with that being said, that's gonna wrap up episode 52 of Kloth Talk, bro. Let me tell you, 100 on the way. Promise you, episode 100 is on the way, bro. We're closer to 100 than we are 0, gang. So listen, we gonna keep going. Boots on the ground. I'm moving. I'm working. I got some nice guests lined up, and we gonna keep it going, bro. I'm telling you. But like the video if you have not liked the video. That helps my channel get exposed to other people outside of my community. And why not bring more cousins into the fold? We a big ass family. But with that being said, without further ado, like I always do, I will catch y'all in that next one. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna do it, but I wasn't gonna do it. Greg, wrap up the video.
Love the way you work it. Hey, I love the way you work it for me.